Good morning, families. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about sleep and rest time and what the difference might be to your child. So while I'm in preschool rooms, my students tend to fade out of nap time, which is very normal because we're going off to kindergarten soon and they don't provide naps in kindergarten classrooms, so we phase out nap times to those that aren't as tired at the certain amount of day, but we do have to still offer rest. What I like to do is at those times give quiet activities to children to play with so they have time to play independently, self-reflect, and calm their mind and bodies for an hour or two. Now, what this experience that I have and some tips that I have are things that I use and ideas that I have. It's not the only way to do rest time or sleep time at night or even at nap time. It is just one of the very many ways. So there's no wrong way to do bedtime routine or nap time routine. This is just one way of doing it. First off, I want to talk about the word rest and sleep. So when we think of sleep, it is the state of mind that you have when you are dreaming, you're going into the REM sleep, so your brain is shut off, but also your human growth hormone is activated. Now, rest time can look like more of the child is awake, they're in a quiet space or in their room, in their bed, reflecting on the day, flipping through books, playing with stuffies, and then eventually possibly achieving sleep. When you are putting your child to bed at night, the difference between saying go to sleep and it's time for rest is huge, because I believe when you, at any age, put pressure on getting to sleep, like how many of us out there, because I know I experienced this like 2 nights ago, really wanted to achieve sleep, but the more you focus on it, you couldn't because it's like, oh, I can't fall asleep. And how stressful is that? Where if we think about it instead as, okay, this is time for rest. I'm going to put the cell phone away. I'm going to read my book for a little bit, reflect on the day, maybe snuggle up with my dog or my teddy bear. It puts a lot less pressure on achieving that state of mind that for some is very difficult to do. So when you're telling your child it's time for rest, it really eases up on that pressure of achieving that state of mind. And they can learn to self-regulate, learn to calm themselves, and eventually achieve sleep. But taking that pressure off of achieving that state of mind is a huge thing. I feel like when I do nap times with children at work and they are like, I can't sleep, I'm like, well, you don't have to, it's just rest time. And they're like, oh, and they just are so relieved and they flip through a book for 10 minutes and then all of a sudden they're passed out because the pressure was off. So my biggest tip for that is try using the word rest time to take the pressure off of getting to sleep. Now, this doesn't mean your child can do whatever they want. It means rest is a limitation of this is where you're gonna be. This is appropriate activities that you can do. It is time for you to be by yourself, reflect, calm, and this will in turn set that expectation for them that you will have for bedtime or nap time, as opposed to going to sleep, achieving that state of mind. Everybody relaxes in a different way, so rest time is a great time for your child to learn how they relax, learn how they self-regulate, as opposed to the strict structure of getting to sleep and staying asleep and staying in your cot or your bed. It's just a different way to learn to relax, so that when we're older as adults, we know different activities that relax us. I remember my mother allowing me and my brother as children to have rest time at night instead of going to sleep. And I don't know how many times I flipped through Go Dog Go by Dr. Seuss, but that is a memory that I vividly remember, because while sitting there quietly in bed, I remembered the words of the book, and then that's how I learned to read, was that quiet rest time of flipping through that book over and over and over again, eventually like looking at the words and analyzing them, and then recognizing them while I remembered the words of the story. So really amazing things can happen during rest time. And I think at that time I was only like 4 or 5. So you will be amazed at what your child can do during independent, restful play. So what are appropriate activities for rest time as opposed to sleep? Sleep is like, maybe they have a stuffy, but they do have to lay down, stay laying down, close their eyes, and achieve that state of mind. If that works for your child, then that's great, and that's awesome. But for children and families that want to try the rest time approach, appropriate activities would be books. Give them a choice of like 3 or 4 books, stuffies that they want to cuddle with, or even a puzzle or 2. It would be probably beneficial for them to have a little lamp or nightlight they know how to turn on and off beside their bed. Things that they can do in their bed that are quiet and calm and will eventually get them to that restful state.